saw a video today where a recent college graduate was sharing that she felt regretful about the degree that she chose to pursue, and it got me thinking about how hard it is to get to the finish line of something only to realize that it's not actually what you wanted. I think sometimes it's even harder to be halfway into something like a college degree or a career path only to realize that you want or should be doing something else. And it's not uncommon to feel this way. According to a Federal Reserve survey done in 2021, nearly 40% of adults who went to college regret their choice of major. This regretful feeling associated with simply changing your mind isn't just reserved for college students and college graduates. It can arise when you have spent many years at a job that you want to quit but just can't bring yourself to do it for whatever reason. When you've devoted lots of time to a creative hobby or a passion project that you're just not interested anymore. When you've grown apart from friends, but it's painful and sad because you have so many wonderful memories with them from years prior. This guilt and regret often combines into a perfect storm and results in something that you may have heard about before: sunk cost fallacy. A quick Google search will define sunk cost fallacy as a tendency to follow through on an endeavor if we have already invested time, effort, or money into it, whether or not the current costs outweigh the benefits. Maybe you know deep in your heart that this career, major, investment, etc. isn't for you anymore, it's not bringing you joy anymore, it's not benefiting you, and you know you should change course, but the pain of feeling like you're undoing all of the work that you've already put in might prevent you from trying something different. Sunk costs are costs that have already been spent and can't be recovered, and sometimes that does look like actual money that you spent. Sometimes it can be time and effort and energy that you put into something, and oftentimes it can actually be both. But is throwing more time and more money into something that doesn't make sense for you anymore better than going after something new that might unlock different opportunities and possibilities for you? Logically, we can say no, that doesn't make any sense. But in the moment when it's happening to you, when you've got that conflict going on in your head and in your heart, it can be hard to actually take that leap from something that you know to something that you don't. I'm hoping that if I can show you that each experience you've gone through has been valuable in one way or another, you won't feel so scared to change course when you feel like you need to. I remember being in college classes at the age of 19, and a lot of the people in my classes were around 24, 25, 26. This was a community college, so a lot of the classes were a big melting pot of people of different ages and different stages in life. It's one of the things that I actually really miss about community college, but putting that aside, I remember thinking at the time, I am in the same classes as these people that are older. A lot of these people in their mid-20s, they already had bachelor's degrees from four-year colleges in other fields. And I remember thinking, wow, I'm 19. Hopefully by the time I'm their age, I will already be working in my chosen profession. I'll already have a degree in this healthcare field that I'm pursuing. And I changed my mind. After lots of time spent in school and having jobs and internships in healthcare, it's not what I'm pursuing anymore. And that decision isn't set in stone. Maybe healthcare will become a part of my life sometime in the future, but for right now, I've made a different decision. And pivoting like that can be hard for a variety of reasons, even when you know in your heart it's the right decision for you. It's hard to change course when you've dedicated so much time and energy into something and then decide that you don't want to do it anymore. It feels like all that work was just for nothing. But the point that I really want to drive home today, and something that I have come to realize over the years, is that it wasn't all for nothing. Each experience that you go through adds something valuable to your life and oftentimes teaches you new skills, whether those are technical or tangible skills that you can carry over from one profession to another, or soft skills like learning how to communicate with people effectively, learning how to manage your time wisely, learning how to mitigate anxiousness in high stress environments, and so on and so forth. The interactions I had with patients at my healthcare jobs and customers at my cashier job that I talked about in last week's video prepared me to communicate in a very clear and concise manner with my home buyers and sellers that I work with now. The photography, media, and art classes that I took in high school and college helped give me a lot of valuable skills and information that I can now implement in my creative work here on YouTube. The friendships that I've had in my late teens and earlier 20s, even if I'm not close with every single person anymore, have taught me so many important things that I'm beyond grateful for and will definitely take into my future with me. Take a moment to really consider what your past experiences and relationships have taught you. How will that help you in your future goals and endeavors? Chances are you'll quickly realize that everything you've gone through has shaped you in really important ways. I recently saw a quote on Instagram that said, if you erase all of your mistakes, if you erase all of the experiences that you maybe feel like were a waste of time, you'll erase who you are today. Everything that you've gone through in the past will aid you in the future, even if you completely change course and try something you've never done before. The thing is that pain and difficulty will be present in the process either way. You can't escape it. You just have to choose between the temporary pain of changing course, trying something different, or the potentially permanent pain of staying in a position that you know isn't right for you. I was reluctant to push myself to start a YouTube channel in 2021 because I thought anyone that's been successful on this platform started many, many years ago. I really thought, you know, the ship has sailed and this isn't something that I can do. It's not even something that I really could envision myself doing. It just felt so far away and so strange. But I was proven wrong once I started, and even if I completely flopped, which I could still in the future, and if I completely fall on my face, this whole experience still won't be for nothing because I've learned so much. It has challenged me, it has taught me valuable lessons, and I'll be grateful for it either way. And when you have that mindset, I really feel like you can't lose even if you fail. You can't lose because you are gleaning important lessons from each experience regardless. And even throughout my short YouTube journey, the vision that I have for this channel has changed numerous times, and that's okay. You are not married to one topic, one career path, one life journey. The point of trying different things, especially in your 20s, is to discover what you're good at and what you're interested in, and it's incredibly rare to get that right on the first try. I know I definitely didn't. Now, even once you win the battle against yourself, guess what? Now you have to win the battle against other people's approval. Sometimes the fear of being perceived a certain way by friends, family, or even strangers prevents you from making a big life change. I really empathize with this because telling people, hey, I film videos in my basement and post them on the internet doesn't quite get you the same flowers as, say, graduating from college does, which makes total sense, by the way, but I had to come to terms with that before I could even try to do something like this. Maybe you're afraid of your family's judgment if you stop pursuing your degree. Maybe you're afraid of going from something that you already know, that you're already good at, to something new that you might be bad at, that you might suck at, and you don't want to be perceived as being bad at something by other people. Maybe you don't want to let go of a job title that you've worked so hard for to maybe do something that you think is below you because you're afraid of the social judgment that you'll experience if you do. You've got to learn to come to terms with that though, because if you don't, you will find yourself making decisions and living your life for other people rather than living your life for yourself and for your own happiness and benefit. If you're putting yourself out there, making a big change in your life, trying something new, that is an amazing thing, and it doesn't matter how anyone else out there perceives it or perceives you. No one will ever know the full range of who you are or what you're capable of, and it's not your job to prove yourself to them or to try to make them understand the thought process behind your decision making, especially if they are insistent on passing judgment on you either way. The great thing about going through a variety of experiences is that you learn so much about yourself and the world around you. You learn about your strengths and weaknesses, and you learn what you're really interested in and passionate about. You discover and shape yourself. You learn what your core values are and what you'd like your life to look like moving forward. So of course, it makes sense that you're going to change your mind sometimes, maybe even quite a bit along the way. You might be halfway into a particular career path or passion project and think, hey, this actually isn't my thing at all. And that's different than quitting something because it's really hard. Sometimes you just know in your heart that you're meant to be doing something different, or maybe you don't know what that different thing is. You just feel like what you're working on right now isn't aligned with you for whatever reason, and you're not sure what that next step might be, but you're ready to go out there and explore, and that's okay too. Rather than clinging on to that sunk cost fallacy and thinking, well, I've already spent X amount of time and money on this thing, I might as well see it through, taking the plunge and exploring new territory can be one of the best and bravest decisions that you ever make. Rainn Wilson, who you might famously know as Dwight Schrute from The Office, has a great philosophy specifically about people in their 20s, referring to your 20s as a workshop stage where you're learning all the time and changing your mind frequently.
20s are a waste of time. Like, don't even worry about it. Don't try and get it figured out. The point of your 20s is to try 12 different things and fail at 9 of them. If you view the 20s as a workshop stage, then it gives you some so you can relax a little bit.
But changing course isn't just reserved for people in their 20s. I recently saw a great video where a woman was sharing her experience with going back to college and becoming a nurse after all of her kids were out of the house. People learn new languages and new instruments well into their elderly years, which is great for your brain health, by the way. People pursue passion projects like filmmaking, pottery, volunteer work, even sports well after their 20s. The point is, it's never too late. It takes courage to recognize when something isn't working anymore and you have to change course. I think the most important thing is just to truly give 100% effort to whatever it is that you choose to do. Wake up every day with a commitment to be the best version of yourself, and when you look at things from that perspective, I guarantee you will find life to be very exciting and very rewarding. If this video resonated with you, you might enjoy the video that I shared last week about savoring each moment, enjoying the journey to your goals, not just the destination of actually reaching them, so definitely check that video out. Otherwise, I will see you very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye!